This next guy, he's from right here in Austin, Texas. Please give it up for Andrew Cerda, everybody.
What's up, people? Hell yeah. Man, so my girlfriend and I have been dating for a couple years. Whenever we first started dating, I made a mixtape with a few songs on it to play every time we hook up. But it turned out to be a bad idea because after a couple years of playing the mixtape every time we hooked up, man, I've never made it out of the first song. Shit's fucked up. So I had to ask her, I'm like, okay, well, what's the one song we should play whenever we hook up, you know? She told me she had a song in mind, and she couldn't think of the name, but it's in a lot of cartoons and shit. It turned out that she was talking about the Benny Hill theme song. Shit was fucked up. How did she even know that shit? But her and I really have a good relationship, though. We were talking about giving each other a hall pass the other night, and she asked me, she was like, okay, Andrew, if I give you a hall pass, who would you use it on? I was like, man, if I ever meet Megan Fox, I would love to use a hall pass on her. And then I had to ask my girlfriend, I was like, okay, well, if I give you a hall pass, who would you use it on? She told me she wanted to use it on this guy named George, that's the bartender at Pluckers that we go to every Sunday. I said, no, it don't work like that. No. Well, my girlfriend is actually Asian. Like I said, we've been dating for a couple years. She works out a lot. She does a lot of squats. She's got real strong legs and shit. The first time we hooked up, you know, I had to open up her legs and they were real strong. I told her her legs remind me of the chopsticks you get at restaurants that are attached to the top. You gotta break apart. She loves me though. She knows I'm not racist at all. You know, I even went to a Black Lives Matter protest last year in May, the first one that happened here in Austin. I was high as shit though. I knew how to stop and grab some milk for when the officers use pepper spray. But when I got to the store, man, I was so high, I picked out chocolate milk. You know, because who don't like chocolate milk, right? But when I got time to use it, because I got sprayed by the cops, I found myself standing in the middle of a Black Lives Matter protest with chocolate face. It was not a good look. You know who is racist is Disney, but everybody knows that shit, right? Disney made a lot of movies full of white girls like Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and Snow White, all that shit. Even made movies for people in the Middle East like Aladdin. But the only thing Disney did for Africa back in the day was The Lion King, and there's not even one person in that whole movie. And even worse, the main character grew up without a father. That's fucked up. I do like Disney Plus though. I was on there the other night with my daughter and we came across the old movie Beethoven with the big dog and the family falls in love with the dog and shit. Well, my daughter really liked that movie and she kept on asking me for a dog. I told her, you know, they made a Beethoven 2, like a sequel. She got super excited, wanted to watch it. So I popped in Cujo with Stephen King. She stopped asking me for a dog. I like to get high and watch a lot of movies. The other night I was watching Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know if y'all remember that shit, but a young Johnny Depp is in that movie. He's the first one to die. He gets swallowed up by the bed and shit. Well, I finished that and I put in Edward Scissorhands with the young Johnny Depp. Man, I was so high, I thought that shit was a sequel. I thought it was like Freddy Krueger's gay son grew up to be a hairdresser or some shit. I started smoking weed at a young age. One time I was a freshman in high school. I was with a group of kids smoking a joint behind the school, and the campus police officer came rolling up on us and we had to throw the joint away. And the officer was like, I know y'all are smoking, and of course we're like, no, you know, not us. He was like, well, it's very simple, you know, let me smell all y'all's hands, and if y'all smell like marijuana, then obviously y'all are smoking. And so he starts going down the line, smelling all of our hands, and luckily I'm at the end of the line. So I start putting my hands all in my ass crack and all of my sweaty balls and shit. Finally, he gets up to me and he was like, okay, Andrew, let me smell your hands. They didn't smell like weed, but I still got in trouble. Sometimes when I get really high, man, I get dyslexic, like my numbers would get backwards. I was playing a video game, Madden, with a friend, and the score was 32-23, and I didn't know if I won or lost. That same night, I was on the internet doing an ancestry test, like the 23andMe or whatever the fuck, you know? I was so high by the end of it, the only thing I remember is I'm like 75% water or some shit. I smoke so much weed, I always forget my passwords. But like I said, I'm from Texas, born and raised in Texas, and there's one thing I always remember, so I changed all my passwords to the Alamo. Because remember the Alamo? My friend hates it when I tell stories when I'm high, because I always say that I was like something. I was telling him a story, I was walking down the street, and this guy bumped into me, and I was like, man, fuck you, you're a fucking asshole, you know, all this shit. My friend was like, damn, you really said that to him? I said, no, but I was like that though. Sometimes I go to work high too, it gets me in trouble. I was in a manager meeting with my boss, and he was telling me I have to start mentoring the employees. He was like, Andrew, when I say mentor, what do you think the definition of a mentor is? I said, oh, that's a half bull, half human thing, right? A mentor. That same day, I was talking to a coworker, and he was asking me about the governor of Texas, you know, Greg Abbott. He was asking if I think he's gonna go for another term. And I was like, I'm not sure, but I know he can't run. Alright guys, I'll leave you with this one right here, man. Like I said, I'm from Texas, going to a lot of my family's weddings here in Texas. I noticed that they always threw rice at the bride and grooms after they got married, and it's for like tradition, it's for good luck or something. Well, I thought I was always going to do that for tradition until I proposed to my Asian girlfriend. I think that'd be fucked up, my family just start throwing rice at her after we get married. Alright guys, that's my time everybody, thank you so much.
Shit, you guys ready to keep this show rolling? This next guy is one of the funniest people I've ever met, a very good friend of mine. Please